You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth P. Inch. Joining me on the show right now is just FIFO. What up, bro?
What do you do, man?
Yeah, Nick is running behind. Spike is out this week. This will more than likely be – and Shelton's running behind too. But Q will be joining us as well. But this will more than likely be the last week for the live show. It's July, so y'all know how we normally get down. We'll be taking a couple of weeks off and then coming back around NFL training camp and stuff like that. But news break, I'll pop up and probably do, a video or something like that. It just depends. We'll see how it goes. Something major happens, if somebody want to hop on, we'll cover it. So I'm always down for that. But yeah, man, just kind of, around this time, we'd like to do a reset to get ready for what should be a pretty interesting NFL season, which we have a whole conversation about that later on in the show. But yeah, man, before we get into the show, though, we always get things off with our best performance of the week.
All righty. So that is your boy, the one person that is here. And that is the entire state of Texas when it comes to basketball. Ken, let me break this down. Mm-hmm. Yes, the Dallas Mavericks got rid of Luka, but they got the number one pick in terms of Cooper Flagg. They also, in terms of the Dallas Mavericks, picked up your boy, what's his name, the lefty shooter. I'll be bad with names. Point guard, D'Angelo, what's his name?
Russell?
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell. They picked him up. Yep, D'Lo. They got D'Lo. They still got Spencer Dinwiddie. So the Mavericks, when healthy, they look pretty stacked. They're pretty much too deep at every position. Then we look at Houston, not only getting KD, but now Finney Smith, and they got somebody else as well. And then you look at San Antonio. Obviously, Wemby is coming back. Who's the youngin that they? Stephon Castle is that guy, and they just drafted number 2, Dylan Harper, which is the son of Ron Harper, 5-time NBA champ. So the state of Texas is winning in basketball, Ken. And here's the thing. I have a little insight in terms of when it comes to AAU basketball. The state of Texas is arguably one of the most competitive states when it comes to youth basketball. Monte Ellis owns and operates a team out of the state of Texas. Al Harrington as well. So a lot of former NBA players. So the state of Texas, when it comes to basketball, they're winning. And that's the best performance of the week.
All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, man, they seem to be round the corner. We'll see if Flagg can be that guy. But, segueing right into the first topic of the week, man. What we got is, of course, the NBA draft, which took place last week. So the 2025 NBA season is officially over now that the 2025 NBA draft concluded last Thursday with the consensus overall number 1 pick. Cooper Flagg going to the Dallas Mavericks, as people just discussed, from Duke University. And the second overall pick, as FIFA also mentioned, Dylan Harper from Rutgers going to the San Antonio Spurs. Any surprises that you have from this year's draft?
Just the way that Danny Ainge continues to manipulate the draft. I don't know if y'all remember, but back in the day when he was the GM of Boston, he wanted Jason Tatum all along, but kind of duped the Philadelphia 76ers of trading up to go get Markelle Fultz because he said that he was going to draft him. And if you want him, you better jump up. And he got additional draft compensation and still got his guy at number 3. Pretty much did the same thing with Ace Bailey, right? the Utah Jazz, they are devoid of a lot of talent on that roster. You know, you got the dude that came from Chicago for a little while ago. What's the big white boy name? Damn, I'm be bad with names, and I love basketball. What's his name?
In Chicago?
He came from Chicago. He got traded to Utah some years ago. And
Laura Marketing?
Yeah, Laurie Marketing. So they've had Laurie Marketing. They had the young bull. I remember his nickname, but I know he just got traded to Charlotte. But they've been devoid of some real talent over there. So for them to go get Ace Bailey, and I know they traded back up and got somebody else that was really good in the draft. Young. Let me not say really good in the draft. He only averaged 6.5 points in college after one season, but he's only 19 years old. So, you know, the upside is there. That being said, that was the most surprising to a degree, only because Ace Bailey tried to manipulate where he was going. And it's not the first time that we've seen, you know, somebody getting drafted into a major sports franchise trying to dictate where he's going to go. But the fact that he didn't even work out for them and they still took him just says at the end of the day, if you're talented, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, we're going to take you. And then the other thing I've been seeing on the internet, and this is where I vehemently disagree, is, oh, you know, just play, you know, for your 3 years and then, you know, go somewhere else. Bro, do you understand when you get drafted in the lottery, more than likely, right, if you are talented and, you know, you're professional, those are the two key things. If you're talented and professional, the first 7 years of your career are more than likely going to be with the team that drafted you. It's just the nature of the business and the way that the contracts are written. You're going to have your allotment, and it's going to be a 2+2. So it's 2 years plus a 2-year team option, or I think it's a 1-year team option. But either way, there's an option on the back end, and then you're able to extend early, right? And then you're able to sign a supermax if you hit certain things, all-star, MVP, first team All-NBA, all of these type of things. So why would you kind of mail it in? Like, you're going to play for the money if you're that talented, and then they're going to sign you, and then you're going to be there. And let me present Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson has not been on the court for more than 40% of his games. And is he still with the team that originally drafted him? Did he sign a max extension with the team that originally drafted him? And are they kind of sick and tired of his issues being off the court? Of course. But at the end of the day, he's talented and he hasn't been professional. So Ace Bailey ain't going nowhere for damn near a decade. It is what it is. But that was the most shocking thing to a degree, Ken, that Ace Bailey was taken by the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing for everybody listening. Look, I really don't know anything about these draft picks like that. I think that, I don't follow college like that or the international market. And, I think there's a larger discussion about that because at one point in time, man, I knew who was what and who would go where and how they would fit, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just hard to keep up, especially with a lot of these guys one and done. And the college product is a little difficult to watch. So I'm just going based on a lot of things that I read and a lot of things that you guys have been commenting about as well. And that one is Ace Bailey. And a lot of people are saying Ace Bailey is supposed to be that guy. All that being said is, what the hell? If he truly is that good, then why wouldn't the Sixers pick him? Why wouldn't they take a chance and go with this guy, VJ, whoever, Edgecombe, or whatever his name is?
Because, Ken, we know that Philly is not a well-run organization. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, do we trust Danny Ainge, especially when it comes to drafting players? The answer has to be yes. The man has been arguably the best negotiator in basketball. The man has selected some of the best talent to come out of college basketball. So I have to side with Danny Ainge. And I see some people in the chat, Kev Timothy saying that Ace Bailey is Cam Reddish 2.0. Cam Reddish didn't do half of the shit that Ace Bailey did. And I also saw somebody say that he's on the Jalen Green path. The difference with Jalen Green is that they drafted they drafted Amon Thompson, which was not necessarily athletically superior, but defensively athletically superior to Jalen Green.
Mm-hmm.
And it made him expendable to a degree because Jalen Green hasn't been consistent. And what do I always say, Ken? It takes 3 to 5 years to really to understand what that player is going to be. But to take that next step as a pro, the key factor is consistency. You can't score 31 game and then 4 in another game. You know what I'm saying? You can score 30 in one game and 18 the next game. You know what I'm saying? Like a law of averages. That means you're averaging 20-some points a game. That's okay. But you can't go from 30 to 4. Like it just can't happen. And that's the thing with Jalen Green. He has to get to a level of consistency. If Jalen Green was consistent, he'd still be in Houston right now.
The most shocking thing, and I don't even really can't register the impact, but everybody was like confused with what the Portland Trailblazers did, picking this center from China, I think, Yang Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even have any intel, nothing on him. And so I'll be curious to see why they did that, because they drafted him in the first round and people didn't even think he was gonna go. People thought he was more than like a second rounder at that.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if you saw. I saw it in the highlights. I didn't. You know, we were filming then in hip hop while the draft was going on, so we didn't get to watch it live. However, he was sitting in the rafters, Ken. He was sitting in the nosebleeds. He had to kind of hustle down, and there were a couple of cats that were there, in hopes of getting drafted in the first round. They did, but they weren't necessarily sitting close to the stage. They had to hustle up to go meet Adam Silver and such. But I don't know what the hell Portland is doing, Ken. They went in and made a trade for Drew Holiday, which could be used to be traded again later or bought out. They're buying out DeAndre Ayton. So it's a complete rebuild. And Scoot Henderson, Ken, I feel like I don't miss too often, but that is one of the guys I missed on, because he looked good in Summer League. He looked good in the G League. And, he went toe-to-toe with Wemby. And it felt like, him and Wemby was going to be 1A, 1B to a degree. We know Wemby's generational, but it looked like he was going to be able to hold his own. And he's just been trash at best, man. And I hate to say that, but, he just hasn't been able to become a true professional.
Yeah, he's had every once in a while you can kind of see it, and then he'll just kind of devolve back. But who knows? I mean, they got rid of Simmons.
Simons.
Yeah, Simon. So now he can play now. So we'll see what happens with that. So I thought that one was interesting. I think the most interesting thing here, and I wish Shelton was here, was really what in the hell is Charlotte doing, bro? Like, they drafted 4 white guys, which is fine. White guys are playing now in the league and playing well. But then a whole bunch of guards, and it's just like, what in the hell are y'all doing over there? And I don't follow them. They got Knuppel or whatever. And I saw him play.
Shooter.
I watched him playing. Yeah, he's shooting.
Yeah,
he can shoot.
Yeah.
Liam McNeely, don't know who the hell that is. Sion James and Ryan Kalbringer. So they got all of these guys, and the thing, going back to what you were saying earlier, they more than likely have these guys for what, 5-6 years?
Between 4 to 6. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you could trade them. And then they traded Mark Williams, so the center they drafted could play. So it's just like, what in the hell are they doing? Which is interesting, because they got LaMelo over there, bro. And they got the other cat that can play. The Paul George. Yeah.
Paul George looking like.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this pick, but maybe, because with all they do, you have 4. What? How many? 4 picks? With 2 first round picks, bro. It makes no sense. And Q's here. What up, Q?
What it do, Q?
What they were doing. So yeah, just a hot mess.
Yeah. Now Ken, I understand sometimes, a rebuild may not look like it has direction because you're just stockpiling as many assets, right? And you're not necessarily drafting for fit, you're drafting for best possible player wherever you're drafting. But Charlotte, it feels like to a degree they have a core. Who was the big man that just came back last year for domestic? I'm so bad with names. But the lefty that just came back from domestic violence and high flyer for Charlotte.
Miles Bridges.
Yeah. Miles Bridges. And then Q, who's the small forward that is damn. It's very PG. Like, hold on, let me pull up the Charlotte.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with his.
I don't know.
His internet.
Hold on, let me pull up Charlotte.
You said a point guard, Trey Johnson?
No. Their small forward that they drafted last year that I thought was going to be, that was going to be a bust. But he actually turned out to be better than I thought he would. Let me see.
Brandon Miller. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah. So to me, that's the core right there. So you got to start building around that core because it's a young core that for the most part fits well together. Brandon Miller is a pretty much do it all small forward that has prototypical size for the position. LaMelo Ball, it has elite size for the position. And the lefty that Q just named, again, I'm bad with names. Bridges, you know what I'm saying? He's an overachiever, a little small for his position, but he extends out to the 3-point. He could do a lot on the court. So I don't understand why you're not at this point bringing in veterans to kind of push that core further. And I understand that they don't have depth, but I just don't understand the direction of the Charlotte Hornets right now. Like it doesn't seem like they're roster building to try to be a contender, especially with a depleted East. And I say that to say, Ken, look at what the Hawks have done. And every year we talk about the Hawks. Oh, could it be could this be their year? Because they do have an elite talent in Trae Young. But I think that this is arguably the best roster that they don't put around him, right? Like, Jalen Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, the youngin, that I think he led the league in steals. If I'm not mistaken, he had one of the highest defensive ratings. Obviously, they just got Kristaps. They got Nickeil Alexander-Walker from Minnesota. So they got the French guy, the big man in a draft or two ago. So to me, I like the directions of the Hawks, and even the Orlando Magic. They're like, yo, this shit is wide open right now.
They, from what I've seen,
Tyson Daniels, thank you, Kev.
They're high on they really like the draft pick that they got. They thought that was a good selection for him to do a trade and get an unprotected draft
pick. The Pelicans.
Yeah. So next year, bro. And then got apparently this Ace Anua guy is pretty good. It works for what they want to do.
Yeah, man. Because you look at what the Pelicans look. If we're taking history as a predictor, Zion is going to play 30 to 35 games, right? Which is not going to be enough to push them to playoff contention. Who's the guard that came from the Hawks that used to play for the Spurs? Lanky guy. And why am I so bad with names? But he's coming back from a torn ACL, so we don't know how good he's going to be. They just traded CJ McCollum and got Jordan Poole. And we know Jordan Poole could kind of be topsy-turvy, even though last year his second year in Washington, he definitely upped his value again, shooting almost 40% from three. So we'll see, but I just don't believe in the Pelicans now, and that pick could be a high draft pick for Atlanta, and then here's the thing, maybe they don't even use the draft pick to draft somebody. Maybe they use that to go get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? A wily veteran between having two picks, their own and the one from the Pelicans. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it boils down.
I mean, yeah, I told you they don't give a fuck about draft picks, but so the Pelicans can help improve my case.
This depends where you are, Ken.
We're gonna see if Q is having some technical difficulties. So I'm gonna see
DeJounte Murray. Thank you, Chief Miyagi.
My bad, y'all. I have no idea what's going on right now. This shit keeps closing out, but hopefully stay on.
Okay, was it okay?
Yeah, like keep on closing out for some reason. Say like the windows messing up every time, but I don't know. Hopefully it stays on. If not, I'll keep trying to get back in.
All right. Well, we were closing out the first segment. We'll get into we'll come back. I'll revisit this. Just kind of get your thoughts on the draft while we kind of talk about NBA free agency as well. So we could just kind of get your thoughts on that right after this break.
If you're looking for real conversations and motivations to be your best, then you have to check out Another Week in the Books. Another Week in the Books with Spike, Lou, and Rich is your go-to podcast for growth and community. Plenty of dope conversations take place week to week as they inspire each other to be better through conversations. Another Week in the Books, wherever you get your podcast.
The NBA offseason has officially begun with the Boston Celtics trading center Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls trading Lonzo Ball to the Cleveland Cavaliers. What do these trades say about the upcoming landscape of the Eastern Conference? And should the Celtics trade Jalen Brown before next season starts? So obviously that's a Nick question. I guess Q still having issues on his end, but you say you love the trade.
Yeah, no, I love the Lonzo trade. I feel like what it does is it shores up the main weakness that the Cleveland Cavaliers had. And what I mean by that, and I said it from get-go, I love their team. However, number one, they don't have enough grit. Number two, it's a small backcourt. So by bringing in Lonzo, what it does for the coaching staff, it allows you to play Lonzo with either D. Mitch or Darius Garland, right? So if he's playing with Darius, bro, don't worry about playmaking. Go get buckets. You know what I'm saying? Because Darius Garland is a scoring point guard. D. Mitch is an undersized 2. Lonzo could play 1, 2, and some threes. He could switch off. I'm not saying you're gonna play Lonzo on a 3-man the whole game, but between defensive switches and things of that nature, he can go guard and hold his own against threes. So that being said, now you could play Lonzo in between D. Mitch and Darius Garland, and in small ball situations, play all 3 of them to push the pace. So I like it. He's pretty much a Swiss Army knife. I heard Jeff Teague say that this is essentially their Alex Caruso move. And essentially it is. You know what I'm saying? Caruso could play, small ball, 4-man, 3-man if you need to. He could guard point guards. He's a Swiss Army knife, whatever you need him to do. And then to me, Lonzo's a better 3-point shooter at this point in his career than Caruso. I'm not saying that Caruso's a bad 3-point shooter. I think Caruso could shoot the rock too. But Lonzo is a better playmaker. You know what I'm saying? So I love the move for Cleveland. It shores them up. But I think that they still need to get some more gritty guys there, Ken. I think I think they're too pretty. I think they're too small. Pause. But I think they're not they don't have enough grit. And I think to win an NBA championship or to compete, to be a legit contender, there has to be some grit about you. You have to have some bad guys, some tough guys. And I don't think they have enough of those.
Q, everything situated over there? Or?
Man, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to just keep trying. But in terms of the NBA playoffs, hopefully this don't cut out by the time I finish talking. But NBA draft and this, my summation is just like, I'm not a big fan of how the NBA and the CBA is playing out right now. I'm just really not feeling how we're seeing this interacts with all the conversations we're having about competitiveness and whatever, the finals. Everything is all encompassing because we're putting the onus on decreasing the middle class for what the NBA salaries could be.
Whoa. All right.
It's not.
Yeah, you were talking about decreasing the middle class for NBA salaries. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be opposite of Q, and I actually like it to a degree. Yeah. So I like both sides of the fence. I like when you're able to have enough money to go sign 3, superstar players and fill out the roster with, maybe 1 or 2 mid-level exceptions and the rest of them being, low salary guys. Like, I'm cool with that, right? I'm also cool with not being able to pay more than 2 guys. Like I'm cool with that too, because what that does is it puts the onus on the organization, the GM, the ownership, to truly build out a roster based off of drafting and development, because you just can't go buy your championships anymore, right? You got to be savvy as well. So being able to stockpile draft compensation and move on from certain guys that you may not be able to pay, but still be, a viable roster. You look at, Indiana, right? Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. What happened? Their big man signed with Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's been in trade talks for how many years? The last 4 years. He's been in trade talks, you know what I'm saying, at the trade deadline. So I'm cool with it, because I would like to see, going back to the Bulls, Ken, they traded Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, and did not receive a first-round draft pick in compensation for none of that. I don't know. We talk about we don't know the direction of a team. That's worse than Charlotte, Ken. I don't know what the hell the Chicago Bulls are doing. And to me, they're just going to be so far behind the 8 ball now. Like, the last good guy that they got is Vucevic. At this point, he's just playing for a check. So to me, I'm okay with what it looks like now. But what's interesting is that the salaries can be so massive and take up so much of a percentage of the total salary cap of a team, right? Like we're talking about, like with Boston, with 2 guys that both pretty much signed for $300 million. That's $600 million invested into 2 players. So I wonder if the overall number in terms of the contract, like, even though maybe they could sign for more, our team's just not going to offer that. Because at the end of the day, if I don't offer it, you know what I'm saying, and I know you may want it, and you walk, you're not going to get that from another. You're not going to get that from another organization, because they can't offer you as much as I can. So I don't know. I think what we're seeing right now with all of the movement is owners and GMs just trying to figure out what the new landscape of the NBA looks like moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to go through some of the trades that happened. And then I guess in terms of what they're going to do with Jalen Brown, I don't know. But I want to go through some of the other trades and free agent signings that happened. But I think the biggest news, and I think this just happened, is Lillard got waived.
Oh, yeah, got waived. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and apparently Giannis isn't too thrilled about that. And then they got bringing in Miles Turner. At one point, I thought he was going back to Indiana. I guess that changed.
Yeah. Well, okay. So a couple of things, Ken. With the Damian Lillard thing, right, and the Achilles. I saw this graphic. I don't think I saved the picture, but I saw this graphic that was showing all of the players, I think, in like the last 7 to 10 years that have had Achilles injuries. Every single player except for Kevin Durant has averaged less points when they came back. Kobe went from 25.5 to 18. Obviously, he was older in his career, kind of like Dame Lillard is right now. A lot of guys, Klay Thompson went from right around 20, like 19.8 to, freaking 14 points a game. So it's a very steep decline. And in recent memory, the only player that has been able to truly overcome an Achilles tear has been Kevin Durant. So I get the move from Milwaukee by waiving Dame Lillard. Now, I don't know if you know the technicalities of it, Ken, how it freed up the cap space for them to go sign Miles Turner. So essentially what you can do is you can spread it out for double the length of their current contract. So Dame Lillard had 2 years. So now they can take that $50-some million that he was owed, or $40-some million that he was owed, and spread it out over 4 years plus 1. So they have an extra 3 years that they can spread that salary cap out, so that way it doesn't hurt their salary cap, and then they're able to go sign a guy like Miles Turner for, I think, what was it, 3 years, $107 million, something like that. So, it created that cap space for him. But, Dame Lillard at this point, he's 35. And, the thing about Dame Lillard is that he doesn't rely on his athletic ability to be great, but because he is an undersized guard, and, it was harder for him to turn the corner now. What does he become? Is he just a spot up shooter? Like, we know you're not going to have to bounce. You're not going to have the bounce he once did. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to shoot, as hot, because after that series that he had against New Orleans, when New Orleans had Drew Holiday and Rondo, they put the clamps on CJ and Dame came back, shooting from 40. Dame is a player that can shoot a jump shot by jumping high and also using a lot of upper body and not having to jump a lot. But what does Dame's game look like now? When he comes back, he's going to be almost 37 years old. If I'm the Bucks, I would have made the same move.
Yeah, gotcha. Let me see. So where is one of the trades here? I just saw, I guess, breaking news. Ayton signs with the Lakers. Is that official?
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, somebody
pull up Shams, man.
I don't like him. I don't know what
you don't like who?
Shams.
Why?
It's not the same. It's like when they replace Anvil with the light skinned Anvil.
I feel you.
I don't mind getting information from him, but it's not Woj. You know what I'm saying? Woj gave it up because he was like, this shit, for as great as I was, it was killing me.
Oh, no, that was from some account said Lake Show. It was some photo, I guess. Yeah, so I guess
you're looking at Manny's burner account.
Yeah, no. So, but that is the rumor, though, Ken. They're saying that the Lakers have struck out on all the big men that they want. That DeAndre Ayton may be a consolation prize, but he doesn't really fit because he's not really a rim runner like that.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, they ain't got no choice. It don't even matter. LeBron already said, "Look, I'm about to leave if y'all don't do something."
Well, so they didn't do shit.
Ken, this is fresh off the press 3 hours ago. The Pistons signed Duncan Robinson to a 3-year, $48 million deal. I like that for the Pistons. Veteran shooting on the outside.
Yeah, they got to replace Beasley goofy ass.
What about the Nuggets trading Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets?
I like it.
You know what's crazy? Michael Porter Jr.'s career will never be a 30 for 30. But I honestly would like to see a 30 for 30 because, he goes from being one of the most highly rated college players, and then he has that back injury, and that's why he falls in the draft. And then you see the potential with him, but he just has had injuries, and it's just been inconsistent from there. I'm saying when he got that contract originally, it wasn't a bad thing because people thought this is Denver overspending because they got to keep their stars. No one's going to Denver voluntarily. But then when you look at that contract now, it's that's one of the worst contracts we've seen in the last probably 5 to 8 years.
Nah, not from a money perspective, only because the salary cap has gone up.
They're trading him because of the contract. And not just because of the money, but I'm saying that they're looking at him solely as what do you do for this team? And we can all talk about how he don't really do that much shit. So the money is nigga, this is nuts for a nigga who don't really do that much shit.
Nick, you're being asinine.
Before you about to say something, let me ask you one question. Did Bruce Brown do more than Michael Porter Jr. for this team?
They did equal parts on different ends of the court.
I'm asking you what yes or no?
Yes, it's the same. They've done the same thing.
No, I'm saying, did Bruce Brown do more for the Denver Nuggets during their heyday than Michael Porter?
No,
I disagree.
Okay, we could disagree, but Michael Porter Jr. is an offensive one-way player. He's a bucket getter with elite size at 6'10". What you're getting with Cam Johnson is you're not losing the size, you're not losing the shooting. In my opinion, you're gaining a little bit of consistency. What you're giving up is explosion in terms of MPJ can score 30, 40 points, say any given night.
That's any NBA player we talk about, honestly.
That's not any NBA.
I'm talking about when we talk about role players, that's any NBA player at that point.
No, it's not. Duncan Robinson ain't giving you 40 points, bro. No, bro. That's not what it is.
When was last time Michael Porter Jr. gave you 40?
Michael Porter Jr. is an elite role player scorer, 100%. Cam Johnson is more of an all-around player. He's a better defender. So you're not giving up the size. You're still getting the floor spacing that MPJ gave you, but you're getting better defense. I think it's a good move. And at the end of the day, didn't Denver have to give up a first-round pick to get him? So obviously there's value there, bro.
I mean, Denver is going to be at least a top 5 seed for the next 3 to 4 years because of Joker alone. So I think they just said fuck the pick because they're like, it's going to be a low pick anyway. Who gives a fuck? Especially in these drafts these days, Ken. It's only the top 3 that you give a fuck about. Everybody else is like, who the fuck? Mr. Who the fuck? So
there's always a handful of guys, Nick, that don't go in the top 3.
And it'd be 5 years. It'd be about 4 or 5 years later before we realize that.
Okay, but that's every draft pick, Nick.
But I'm saying we don't have the sensational drafts like what was that? The year John Wall and them came out, where it was like every nigga you thought from 1 to damn top 10 was like, all right, somebody gonna be one of them ones. It was an exciting draft. These drafts don't be like that.
And none of them dudes are still in the league. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Paul George draft, and Paul George is the only person still in the draft in the league from that draft. What are you talking about?
But I'm saying like most of that have to do is like it's already like 10 plus years since that draft. So obviously it's like most NBA players' career is not that it's not 10 plus years, FIFO. No matter who you are. Like LeBron ain't the norm. Most niggas be out by year 10, if not, let alone beyond past that. So that's what I'm saying. Like but either way, I'm just talking about the draft class. Nonetheless, I'm going back to the point of most of these trades, Ken, that you about to name, it don't really matter. It's trading peanuts for shit ball. You know what I'm saying? like it ain't really gonna move the needle. Now, the one that made move the needle is Jordan Clarkson going to the Knicks. That's the one that's like that's different because the Knicks right now is not official just yet, but I think it's
rumor officials.
Yeah, if
so
he goes
drinking right now,
I've been drinking. I just came back from talking to 2 biddies at the bar, but nonetheless, I think Jordan Clarkson coming to the Knicks, and if so, bro, the Knicks gonna win the title. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh my God, you over here with the Knicks gonna win the title, man. The East is so wide open.
ESPN reporter Jordan Clarkson expected to sign with Knicks. That was yesterday.
Expected, but he still hasn't. So it's still rumor.
I mean, shit.
People, you say you like the Hawks trade. Why does everybody like that trade? Because
which one you talking about? Kristaps?
Kristaps, because he's always hurt.
Yeah, but what he brings to the table, Ken. And here's the thing: if he can play 60 games, you know what I'm saying? That's a good move. That's a good move for them.
I don't think he can play 60 games.
I think he could play around 60 games. You know, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I think he could play 55, 60 games. And Kristaps he's literally a unicorn. He's one of the few players that can still block a shot.
We rarely see him.
That's part of being a unicorn. However, he's one of the rare players that can go block a shot and shoot 3-pointers at a high clip, can switch on to pretty much anybody and hold his own. You know what I'm saying? So like it gives something that Atlanta hasn't had. Especially to pair with Trae Young. Trae Young has had, or it's a better version, right? Like because he had John Collins, and I feel like he got John Collins close to an all-star level player. I think Kristaps is kind of beyond that, but Kristaps is a better shooter. Kristaps is a better rim protector. Kristaps obviously has championship experience. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that they never had with a player that is that talented they have now. And then they have the up and coming guys. They just signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about a dynamic wing player that can guard multiple positions, which is the reason why they traded for DeJounte Murray a couple of years ago. That's what they wanted him to be. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a better version of that. You know what I'm saying? And then Dyson Daniels. You know what I'm saying? Like just another year, the 3rd year of him. So they just have a lot of a good mixture, but they're not going to be reliant upon Porzingis. Porzingis is just going to be another piece that when he is there is going to help them grow and evolve as a team.
I don't disagree with most of what people are saying about the Eastern Conference, and essentially the West Coast and the East Coast are doing a lot of marginal moves, trying to improve teams, maximize a window right now. But like I was trying to say earlier, is that's kind of been my issue with just how the NBA has been sliding these last 2 years with the philosophy of the owners, because the economics is overriding us having the ability to, really see exciting teams. I think the CBA and the second apron is hampering a lot of what the NBA should be displeased with, which is a lot like all the ratings and all the lack of, casual interest and stuff. Basketball fans are going to find pleasure in whatever basketball is being played whenever. But whenever I see people talking about, being smart and evading the tax, and teams are worried more about, balancing their checkbook than they are actually about putting good teams together. I mean, this is an offseason of, like I said, you're seeing the destruction of the NBA middle class. Like, the amount of money that's being given to guys, like, there's a reason why they're making memes with CJ McCollum and Ronald Reagan. Like, dog, this shit is insane. Like the amount of disparity between the highest paid guys and guys that a couple years ago would probably get good mid-level deals. Now they're taking the veteran minimum. And it's like, I don't necessarily love the way that the NBA is going right now, because a lot of these moves just scream cheap ownership. Charlotte, like you all said, I don't understand their draft strategy. They always look like they're just trying not to pay people. Atlanta is just trying to do whatever they can to keep Trey, and I think that makes sense for them, because without Trey, who do they really have to, bring anybody in? Who's going to sell tickets? New Orleans, I have absolutely no idea. I feel like they only hired Joe because they want to tank, and I think that they're going to have to start thinking about life post Zion. Memphis signing Jaren Jackson Jr., that also sticks out to me, because that might be a signal that they're moving towards Jaren as their centerpiece away from Ja, and building not around him, but trying to find another person to run with him. Minnesota's moves, I have been appalled at how you pay Julius Randle $100 million. I think there's no way to justify that for me, to have $100 million. I'm sorry, about $300 million tied up in Naz Reid, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. I just don't understand what your philosophy is trying to build around. And I saw the Russell Westbrook move. I don't hate it. It's better. You go from a younger, older man, you know what I mean, in Mike Conley, to a little younger of an older man in Russell Westbrook. I don't really think it is a credible move, but he's at least going to be able to push pace, attack the rim, and bring a little bit of fire to run alongside Ant. So I don't hate it, but they're just pushing Ant out the door, in my opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't, in my opinion, because as much as I love Russell Westbrook, and I've been on record of saying it, if I was an NBA coach, I love to coach Russell Westbrook, but in those critical moments, he doesn't have the poise that Mike Conley does. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Mike Conley doesn't give you, an explosion of points or athleticism, or maybe what you need, because he did look like an old man walking out there. Especially the last 2 seasons, they've gotten deep in the postseason, but he is a calming voice in that locker room. Not having that, but now having Russell Westbrook, I don't know if it pushes you closer to a championship. And I don't disagree with you, Q. The NBA is definitely dynamic, and Russell Westbrook is still dynamic. Obviously, we know Ant Edwards is arguably the best 2 guard in the league now. But to have that type of money tied up, to me, it would have been better served to sign and trade Julius Randle, in my opinion, because you gave us so much for Gobert, and obviously Gobert does mean something to this team when it comes to defense. But, bro, I don't get it. To me, I feel like with the money that you paid Naz Reid, you kind of elevate him to the starting lineup. sign and trade Julius, move on from him, either next year, or, whatever, draft another big to kind of back those two guys up, whether it's a true center or a power forward like Nasri that can play center. Like, I just don't understand the moves. I don't think that these are championship level moves to get them closer, especially in the West. Like, the West is an arms race. We look at, Dallas when fully healthy, like, bro, that shit is Noah's Ark, bro. It's 2x2. They got two at everything. Yeah. They got two at everything. Wemby's gonna come back. The man been chilling with the Buddhist monks, bro. This man gonna be able to, he gonna look like Dawson from Street Fighter, bro. Like he already do, but he gonna be, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be Zen now. Like, bro, I just, and then you look at the what I just go ahead.
To me, Denver has like aced this offseason personally.
Denver, you like the Cam Johnson move,
but Denver just did what they were supposed to do a season ago, or a couple of seasons ago after that championship. They should have never let Bruce Brown go. They should have added. They should have been traded and not give that contract to Michael Porter Jr. It's just like they made up for their mistakes. So I'm not going to really give them a.
But Nick, let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this.
It's a new regime.
It is, but let me ask you this, Nick. I feel like what Cam Johnson is if you combine Bruce Brown and MPJ. That's what Cam Johnson is.
As far as his ceiling, his ceiling comes with that as well. You got Bruce Brown ceiling with MPJ ability.
But it's essentially like what the Knicks did with the Mikal move minus all the draft picks. It's like, we need a steady 12-point a game guy. You know what I'm saying? 4 threes. Plays deep.
But Mikal potential was way higher than what's his name? DiVincenzo.
I was about to say or
DiVincenzo. Like what we gave up, you know what I'm saying, to get him is
because you got the size, pause. But DiVincenzo's barely a 6-foot guard. Like, and Mikal defensively, Bridges is elite.
Mikal Bridges won us 2 games with the Celtics defensively.
100%. But also the thing too that we're not talking about in the Denver move is the fact that Aaron Gordon has upped his game. So it kind of made MPJ expendable to a degree because we saw Aaron Gordon play at ultimate level. It's like, oh, you're the second best player on this team now. It's no longer Jamal Murray. You know what I'm saying? You can hit, bro. He was hitting pull-up threes in transition.
I love the Jonas Valanciunas move. Love the Bruce Brown move. Definitely love subtracting Russ from the equation. I think that you're gonna get something more for the poise of a Cam Johnson in those clutch moments, final 4 minutes of the game. You run your lineup: Gordon, Johnson, Jokic, and then you can kind of whoever mix and match the other two. Hopefully Murray's back to what he's supposed to be, but man, Denver to me is ace the offseason. I think that the Magic and the Hawks, for what they are trying to do, they've made solid moves. Porzingis to me is an upside move. You shouldn't be banking your season on it, but if it pans out, you could see yourself talking yourself into, we can get to the second round of the playoffs. If Trey is going crazy, if Daniels in the Frenchman that they drafted, he's going to develop a little bit more. I think they have a solid enough, a solid enough 5, a solid enough 6 guys.
You know what they've become, and Nick, you should love this. They're New York South. They're essentially, if you look at how they're built.
Don't say Atlanta.
Atlanta. They're New York South.
Very guard dependent.
Can I say something?
Very guard dependent. Jalen Brunson and Trae Young, they cancel each other out. Cat and Porzingis, when healthy, big asterisk there, but when healthy, they cancel each other out. Dyson Daniels, Mikal Bridges, that's a matchup.
No, they don't. First of all, y'all out here between the both of y'all giving hand jobs to these goddamn GMs like they did. These are trades that don't really fucking matter. The only trade that really matter is Kevin Durant going to Houston. Like, we need to talk about content. Like, we need to talk about contending teams. And first of all, Q, you over here, you keep making this argument in the chat, and now you brought it to public about the second apron and how it's killing the NBA and all that.
It is.
We seen 2 middle class franchises in the NBA finals, and like I told y'all from the jump, nobody wanted to see that shit. The ratings show that, Ken. I don't know if you looked at the numbers. No one really gave a fuck. And we moved on from that championship. We moved on that championship in less than 24 hours after they won it.
I like basketball, so I don't think that contradicts anything.
You question
me and Q love basketball. You don't.
No, you don't. Because y'all question the fact of is OKC's championship legitimate because of one player getting hurt.
I never said that. I never said it wasn't legitimate.
You brought up that question.
I never said it wasn't. I never said the word is legitimate. I just said that we're always going to be looking back at Game 7 as a complete letdown that we didn't have two stars on the court. It's not a semantic. It's not a semantic. I like to read, so some things are about like actual details. I like the details. I like basketball. Kobe talks about details. Y'all niggas want to talk about just the blanket box score or just the big plays that happen in highlights. I like details.
I want to talk about teams that actually matter. That's going to actually try to compete.
Teams that matter.
Atlanta's not doing that.
Teams that matter. Teams that matter is going to be interesting.
Denver may not be doing that. Honestly,
the Hawks just like several years ago when we went to the playoff game, the Hawks could knock out the Knicks next year, bro.
They could. The reason why is because you saw what one injury does. You saw what one injury does to a playoffs.
I'm not talking about injuries. That could be any team. That's any fucking team.
But no. Nick, I'm saying if the New York Knicks are healthy and the Atlanta Hawks are healthy, Atlanta can beat New York.
They will not. Because they don't have the best player. Because they won't have two of the best players on the team. No one's better than Cat. No one's better than Cat in Atlanta, and no one's better than Jalen Brunson.
All I know.
Am I wrong, Ken?
All I know, the last time when they were in the second round in New York, we got a lot of this.
Who was on that team?
It don't matter. We got a lot of that.
I don't think that matters. What's more important here is the landscape of the East has completely changed because Boston is no longer going to be the perennial favorite. No one's going to be able to stop them. And the Knicks have questions. Milwaukee is a complete question mark. You know what I'm saying? Like the Magic are being elevated to a top 4 team. Cleveland has questions. Philly has so many questions. So if you're Atlanta and your team's on the margins like Atlanta is, let's make some marginal moves. Let's get better on the defensive side. Let's build around Trey and let's hope for a year where we can capitalize. Like the East is wide open, like I was saying last podcast. So if you're looking and quiet as kept, you could make a case that the West is a 3-dog fight. You know what I mean? Like you could say OKC, Denver, and maybe Houston. But right now, Dallas is rebuild. You know what I'm saying? You have the Lakers with question marks. Is Bron trying to get a trade somewhere? You have no idea. But right now, the NBA is completely in flux. Halliburton is done. Dame is, where we have no clue what's going to happen with him. So you have so many questions.
He's gone.
Yeah, and here's the thing is that if I'm Atlanta's management and their brass, you can talk me into the fact that let's spend a little bit of bread and let's see if we can make it to the second round next year because it's wide open.
Yeah. All right. A couple of member chats on basketball before we transition to NFL. Developing story. This is from Birdman at 50. I don't know his source, but he said Golden State Warriors in contact with Damian.
If he sounds like them, then he ain't shit. I ain't gonna, because he always talks shit about them, and he always said he would
that would be crazy though.
He said I would never do something like join Golden State, and if he do,
NBA needs it. NBA needs it.
I don't need it.
As per Nick's words, NBA needs it because no one cares unless you're a big name. So
yeah, that'd be dope. And Josh Bro, Spurs going 73-9 this year, and we winning it all. All right.
He must really believe in Dylan Harper.
I'm excited to see what Dylan Harper does, but I think the Spurs, with their draft, real quick, I'm concerned for what they want to do with Fox because I don't know what the plan is. They could give a fuck
about Fox, Q. I'm gonna let you know right now. They could give a fuck about Fox because they got Harper now.
I believe in De'Aaron Fox, but it's like
I do too, but they don't. That's what I'm saying. They don't. Like based off the moves they making, they be making moves like they don't even know he there.
I don't think it's that they don't know that he's there or, they're questioning Fox. I think that they're just trying to get deeper at in the perimeter, you know what I'm saying, to complement Wemby and just the rest of that team. Because obviously Dylan Harper is not going to start. There's going to be Fox and there's going to be Stephon Castle. You know what I'm saying? At the 1 and 2, maybe Stephon plays the 3. I don't know where they're planning to play him, but we know that De'Aaron is going to start. But they want to be able to be strong off the bench, and obviously CP is still on that roster. And we saw what CP meant. See, Nick. I'm not even talking to you, bro. I'm talking to Q. I'm talking to the other nigga that like details about basketball.
I'm only dismissing CP because you missing my point.
Don't even make a noise, bro. Like, I'm talking
to
you. Look, CP. Look, veteran leadership is a thing in basketball. It's a thing in sports in general. And CP, we saw what type of impact that he had, not only on who's the German black guy. Schroeder. Not only on Schroeder's game, because he's been better since he was at OKC with CP, but look at Shea. Mm-hmm. Shea is better because CP was there, and he taught him intricacies and details of the game. You know what I'm saying? Controlling tempo of the game. That was on CP. So CP is going to have a big voice, even though if he's not going to play a lot, but he's going to have a big voice on strategy and how you play the game.
FIFA over under, they're going to keep CP before the season starts.
Why not?
Which is what I mean. The thing is though, is that to Nick's point, but for a different reason, CP has a little bit of a market right now because they understand that he still has a little something left in the tank. You have the Clippers that are reaching out to see if they wanted to have a reunion. The Lakers are reaching out, and then the Spurs clearly would like to keep him off the bench. But it's like, you have the ability right now to solidify your, backcourt around Wemby, but the clog that CP is not a part of the clog because he's just going to be off the bench, and you can run 2 guards with CP as well. Mm-hmm. But the issue is you need either Harper to turn into a burner type of just shooter, straight up 2 guard, and where Fox can distribute a little bit, or Fox is going to have to do the unthinkable kind of for NBA trends and become a much, much, much better shooter. But the trend would support the fact that they want Harper to develop so they can move either Fox or Castle, but I don't think they would want to move Castle. I think their hope is that Castle and Harper are the backcourt of the future, kind of like, offense, defense to dual guards, and then let Fox get you some value back off the wing, which is why I don't know if I love the Spurs getting a little bit antsy last season and trading assets for Fox if they were just going to move him anyway. But maybe for Wemby's development, they just needed to do it.
But that's why I was like,
last point.
That's why I was saying FIFA, the shit he talking about with Chris Paul, I don't give a fuck about that. My thing was more about the Spurs are trying to they're trying to get the cornball version of Shaq and Penny. Right? So they got Wemby and they got Dylan Harper now. And
why is Wemby corny?
Bruh, you just said that he went on. He about to come back as Avatar, the Last Airbender from wherever the fuck he ran.
He might need men's mental health month. Men's mental health month.
All right, we it's sports, nigga. At the end of the day, we can give a fuck. I know we say
this nigga Nick wants robots, but go ahead, man.
They getting paid like kings though, so shit.
They not shit.
It's a cost. It's a cost of doing business. If I get paid $1 million, if I get paid $1 million and niggas didn't give a fuck about me, shit. Guess what? Niggas ain't just gonna give a fuck about me. That's all I'm trying to say. But all I'm saying is that the Spurs clearly have moved in a direction. I think based off because FIFA, you forgot to mention they had the number 2 pick overall in this draft. You would think that with players that they already have at the that position, that guard position, with Castle, who wasn't he rookie of the year or some shit?
They've had the last 2.
They got Fox and Castle. You good at the guard position for real, off the bench and starting. You should get some more like. That's why if Cooper Flagg they had the number 2 pick. If they had the number 1 and you had Cooper Flagg in this, that team looks actually more. I'm saying that team looks different. I'm saying,
but you're drinking again, Nick.
But they doubled down on the guard, triple down at the guard position now
because they got the best player available. No, but they got the best player available.
BPE, man.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back with NFL Talk right after this.
If you are a fan of gaming, then you need to check out Dead End Gaming. Dead End Gaming brings you honest reviews, hilarious moments, and deep dives into the conversations take place in the industry. No sugarcoating, just real gamers gaming. Check out Dead End Gaming, the world's most dangerous gaming crew, on Twitch or YouTube. Just look for Dead End Gaming ATL. That's Dead End Gaming ATL.
The Miami Dolphins have agreed to trade 3-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey Ramsey and the tight end Jonah Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for 3-time All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a pick swap. Who won this trade, and what are the expectations for the Dolphins going into next season? Shelton, welcome to the show. What are your thoughts on what went down in Pittsburgh and Miami?
Hold on, Shelton. Before you go, just for clarification, wasn't it the Dolphins that drafted Minkah and traded him to the Steelers?
Yes, that's what that's the goofiest shit. That's the goofiest shit about the whole thing, FIFO. They just gave him right back.
Yeah, this was really shocking to me. Shocking on both sides. Well, of course, more shocking for Pittsburgh because you trade away one of your defensive stalwart, and he was the younger of all of the other players that you had on that roster. You got the TJ Watt situation that they're trying to work out. He's older than Minkah. So to move on from Minkah was kind of weird to me. And not only did they get Ramsey, which I'm assuming because you already got two top corners in place as is. You got your 1 and 2 corner already. I'm thinking they're going to move him to safety. And if
you have Slay and Joey Porter.
Yeah, you got Slay and Joey Porter Jr. already. So, you can have 3 corners, which you need 3 corners in today's NFL because you got these type offenses. But I think I would feel more comfortable at this stage of his career moving him to safety because he can hit and his instincts are off the charts. I think he'd be an awesome safety. But at the same time, you had one of the best in the business in Minkah. So trading it didn't make a lot of sense. One note to this is they did add in Jonnu Smith, who was a all-pro tight end. But I don't understand that either. You already got 2 good young tight ends in place already in Freiermuth and Washington.
Same.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't understand Pittsburgh's motives for this trade unless you knew something about Minkah from the inside that I didn't know. But I think I would have held
Sheldon. I feel like ChatGPT is managing the Steelers. I don't even know what this is. These like AI moves, like the Ravens and the Steelers. I don't know what's happening in the North, but just their moves in the off seasons, like this offseason particularly, have not made much sense to me personally. But the Steelers, this is like a to be determined type of move. You might break even. Like that's what you're hoping to break even. A lot of Steelers fans have soured on Minkah over the last 2 seasons, but personally, I've never really understood the reason why that is. If you look at what the Steelers have done on defense, Minkah was always the person to keep the top on the defense. They didn't get beat a lot over the top, in my opinion. It was always running plays because their front 7 was bleh, you know what I'm saying? But outside of Hayward and Watt, and what you can do is you either double Watt and you just got to, like, you know what I'm saying, quick screen game, quick pass game. And if you have a stout offensive line, you're not really that worried about the Steelers besides 2-3 guys. And you can't really beat these offenses nowadays with just investing all on the defensive side with guys that are kind of long in the tooth. So you replace an elder statesman of your team, Minkah Fitzpatrick, with another elder statesman in the NFL, and you want him to play the same position. So what are you hoping? That he's going to have an all-pro year? Like, I think Minkah has already done a good job at what you want him to do. So bring in Ramsey, and you hope that he's going to have an all-pro year when he's his 10th season in the NFL now. So we're looking at just a lot of question marks from the philosophy side. I like the Jonnu Smith trade, which is funny, Nick, because Darren Waller said, "Oh shit, y'all need somebody in Miami." So I'm confused. Not a huge fan of it, but it is to be determined because you got Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, but Donnell Washington, like what do you do with him? So another move where Pittsburgh is leaving me kind of mystified.
That's what I was
to me. This to me is more about Miami than it is Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And the reason being is we saw what Mike McDaniel was talking about, and this is in an effort to save the locker room. Jalen Ramsey was running a mutiny over there. You know what I'm saying? This was anti-establishment. And you had to get rid of the rotten apple, in my opinion. And that's what they did. Now, I don't know if Jonnu Smith was part of that, which is why they attached them to the trade, because I don't think that you had to, to me, Jalen and Minka straight up, in a couple of pick swaps or whatever would have made sense. But to add Jonnu, I don't understand. So and then before Jonnu, they had Mike Gesicki, which was an All-Pro tight end as well, and they moved off of him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Mike McDaniel's time is numbered in Miami, to say the least. And I think that the next person that's going to go is going to be Tyreek Hill, because I think he's the other leader on the other side of the ball that is not getting to the meetings on time, that's giving the pushback, that has the championship swagger. And Mike McDaniel is not that type of personality to get in your face and to mitigate it, right? Mike Tomlin, he's too cool for school. But Mike Tomlin, bro, if you can handle AB, you can handle Ben Roethlisberger, and we didn't hear things until years after, you already know Mike Tomlin can handle that. But I think that that's the main reason, and this to me is more about Miami than Pittsburgh.
I do think this is more about Miami than Pittsburgh. To me, Pittsburgh is just doing Pittsburgh shit. Like they're a glorified, irrelevant ass team. If you want me, I don't want to. I know I'm always the nigga that talk shit about Pittsburgh, but
that's
shit,
hate.
I've been said shit about Pittsburgh for years, and now y'all just seeing the fruits of my labor when it comes to keeping it.
That's hate.
You know what I'm saying? But I do think this is more Miami, because Miami always falls under the radar in all of our conversations. Of course, we're gonna talk about Pittsburgh when season comes and all that shit. But Miami always falls under the radar because, to me, Mike McDaniel probably is gonna get fired. Tua's probably gonna be there for the next 2 to 3 years, and they're gonna be super relevant, and that's gonna be one of the worst football that you're ever gonna see. Because I don't think they're going to be successful at all this year, because they weren't successful at all last year for the same reason that we've been saying for the last 3 years. And you can spell it in three letters, Sheldon. What is it? TUA. TUA. They paid Tua for no reason. No one had a gun to their head. They had a water gun to their head. It was at the Miami Beach. And so it said pay Tua. And they was like, oh, okay. Nah, nigga.
There's no leadership in Miami, though, Nick,
Because
there's no leadership.
And on the other side, if I'm Pittsburgh, like you mentioned, Q, or somebody mentioned it, like, why would you not go for Tyreek Hill? Because he's clearly not happy being in Miami because they haven't been winning shit. And he's been getting exposed as a wide receiver since he got there. Or get Jalen
because
exposed carefully, bro. Exposed?
Yeah. He's not a Justin Jefferson.
Okay, because
he's not a DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay,
he can't get his production outside of having a good to great QB.
Regardless, the reason why I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna sidestep that, because whatever your opinion is, fine. But when you have a good QB, take your premise. He's still amazing when you have a good QB. So what I'm thinking that they're doing with him is they're waiting to see by the middle of the season, by the deadline, which team really wants to win. And I think that they're gonna get a good haul for him at that time. Trading him now in the offseason when his value is it's still high, but his value could be even higher if, by the deadline, a team is willing to part multiple picks for him or a really good player.
Let me ask you this. If Pittsburgh offered Miami a first-round pick and Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey and Tua, would you say that's not a fair trade? I mean, not Tua, but for Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek? Oh, yeah. No. To me, that's way too little for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey. I definitely feel like Tyreek Hill, when healthy and when he's in a good program, because Miami's not a serious program, but put Tyreek Hill on half the teams in the NFL, and I think he's easy. 1,000+ yards, easy 1,000+. This is not even a question.
Yeah, we've seen him excel.
But I'm going off the fact of, and this is something that Lou will bring up, is that you can draft a wide receiver every year now, especially when you got that boy from Ohio State potentially coming out. So either next year or the year after that. My thing is if I'm a team and I'm looking at Miami, I'm like, there's nothing that's going to happen here. We might as well sell while we can.
Bro, put Tyreek Hill on the Texans. Put Tyreek Hill in the Chargers. Put
Exactly.
Tyreek Hill on the Ravens.
You're saying every team but Miami. That's my whole point. Is that
not necessarily not every team.
I'd rather trade him.
Not necessarily.
If I'm New England right now, I know you wouldn't trade in the division. But if I was like, New England, give us a first round pick, we'll give you Tyreek Hill to pair with your
I think you're selling a Lamborghini for like 20% of the value, and it's like
yeah.
First of all, Tyreek Hill is going down. Don't step on.
But you're looking at it, to me. This is like without the trouble that he was in. This is like what the Patriots got Randy Moss for after the Raiders. It's like the value is not proper. If they redid that trade and what he was going to mean to Tom Brady, they probably would have got more. But it's
I'm saying, y'all value Tyreek at a level that I don't. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
I understand, but most of the league would value Tyreek at a greater value than that.
Nick, really? They do because when you play Miami now, you still have to give an account for him. You got to know where he is on the field.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's irrelevant. I'm not saying that, but he's worth just a first round pick. I'm not trading first round pick. I'm not trading two first round picks for Tyreek Hill in 2025 going to 2026. That's insane. That's a bad trade for me.
Well, it depends on where you are in your window. Like I was saying, if you're the Texans, if you're the Chargers, if you're the Ravens, if you're the Bills, and you just want that extra oomph, like I was saying last week with Lamar and the reason why, you can look at a QB's passing stats and say, oh, he had 4,000 yards. He was so good last year. But if you look at the strength of schedule, the teams that they went berserk on. It starts to look less gaudy because the NFL is catered towards offenses. So when you get to the playoffs and you have someone who actually scares you, a la Jalen, a la AJ Brown, you have to account for that, and it makes your offense more potent. So Tyreek Hill, no one's going to look at him, Nick, and say, "Oh man, you didn't succeed in Miami, so that means your value's done." They're going to look at Miami and say, "We know that Miami is not a serious program."
That's if he wasn't coming off of a third contract trying to get a fourth, if not a fifth. He's older now. So, Shelton, let me ask you this question. Over or under, Tyreek Hill got 1,000 yards last season?
Under.
Over under, Tyreek Hill had over 7 touchdowns last season.
Oh, he had a horrible season last year.
Who were his QBs,
I'm just asking over under.
But, who were his QBs, though?
Over under 7? You going to go over or under 7, Sheldon?
Under 7 last year, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
How many games did he play last year?
He played, let me see. I think he damn near played all of them.
I just don't know why we're debating if Tyreek Hill is good because the Miami Dolphins organization is not serious. Like, we have 1 year now where he's not. We had 1 year where
I'm saying he's
it's just 1 year.
Q, I'm talking about he's older though. As much as you talking about
how old is he right now?
Like this is a conversation that I would say equates to Derrick Henry, right? If someone was to
what's Tyreek Hill's age?
Huntley played a lot of those games and wasn't doing nothing. So,
come on,
how
man.
many games?
No, but seriously, no. I'm seriously asking though. I don't know how old he is. Can someone tell me how old he is?
I'm sorry. As a guy who was rated the number one best player in the top 100 NFL by his peers, I'm sorry. I'm expecting somebody to do something similar to DeAndre Hopkins and Justin Jefferson, where we don't see you miss a beat. You know what I'm saying?
So, he's still early 30s, Nick.
I've seen Jamar Chase go off with Jake Browning for a majority of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Mike, and this is why I believe Michael Daniels get fired, because like you mentioned, like the offense looks different when Tua's not there, completely different, and that's on the head coach. The head coach has been knew that Tua, if you drop a gusher on his head, gonna be out for 3 weeks, let alone to play a football game. That your system should be able to, your offense at least, if you're the offensive.
Nick, Tyreek Hill is 31 years old. You talking like Tyreek is 36? Like he's 31.
I'm saying he's on the decline. He's past 30. He's on the wrong
side.
Nick,
that's still within the prime of your career.
Have you seen him run these 100 yards? Running 10-1s?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheldon, what does he run in the playoffs? How fast do you see Tyreek run in the playoffs? I ain't seen it. Y'all talking about regular season shit. this is the reason why I'm saying the first round. He's worth the first round.
Thank you. When he was with, and I know Patty is arguably the best quarterback we've ever seen.
10 years ago.
That's not 10 years ago. Number one. Number two is that we seen him do it in the playoffs. So don't act like he can't do it. Tua is, bro, he's bottom of the barrel at quarterback in the league, bro. And that's just facts.
He's super mid, bro.
Well, Mike McDaniel's offense is really built around Tua and his skill set, and you take him out of it, that whole thing falls apart. Kind of just going back to this whole thing. So I don't know. I think the trade works out for both teams. You know, I think there were issues that was it one of the safeties or something reported last year that Minka was just out there freelancing at times and breaking the defense.
Ken, there was a lot of locker room talk about people missing assignments and not committing to scheme.
Yeah, so we'll see if Omar Khan's gamble pays off, but I think it's fair, and I think Steelers getting Jonnu Smith helps. You know, so that's
Rodgers.
Yeah, that's another offensive.
Jono said they gonna do shit for y'all, for the Steelers. Whoever the Steelers
this is just hate.
No one's coming. No, I'm saying you're not running home as a Steelers fan. Talk about some. Get your Jonnu Smith jerseys ready. We about to go.
No, they're not. But that's not what he's there for.
Exactly.
He's there to block. He's there
to block.
I'm looking. He's an extra receiving tight end, bro. He had 800 yards last year.
Nick got all this spice. Nick got all this spice for every team besides the one team that's living off of a Super Bowl loss. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, stop it, fam. Like,
this has nothing to do with that because first of all,
it has everything to do with it.
When was the last time?
Has everything to do with it.
When was the last time Pittsburgh even won a playoff game? If we talk about winning, and second of all. My thing is, I'm looking at Pittsburgh as like you didn't make the sexy move, like you mentioned. Q, you're talking shit about the Bengals.
What's the sexy move?
When they've had a better offseason than Pittsburgh. Second of all, the sexy move would have been to get.
Fuck no! Did you just say that? Like, are you crazy?
What the best
Trey Hendrickson? No. Listen.
He's gonna get
no. Have y'all even signed y'all's pick? Have y'all even signed the draft pick yet?
No. FIFA, why are you looking at in the screen all goofy? Like, has TJ Watt been signed? Are we not hearing about Trey Burman?
That's different, bro. We're talking a rookie, bro. We're talking a rookie.
Y'all can't even sign a rookie.
A rookie.
The rookie's gonna get signed. Trey Hendrickson gonna get signed.
Is he?
He is.
Y'all just gave all y'all money. Y'all gave all y'all money to wide receivers and ain't got nobody on defense.
But they said we was gonna lose both of them. And they said that we can't pay Jamar, and we done everything that Joe Burrow has said.
Y'all got gaslit into having a bad cap. It's all good.
Bad cap. You just talked about teams going over to above and beyond, not to worry about all the taxes and shit, to play good games and get.
Yeah, you should also have a balanced team and not just have three good players.
We're not over the cap. We're actually under the cap by $30 million. My thing is, I was bringing up the whole point I'm talking about is Pittsburgh should have made the move.
And still can't sign nobody.
Go after Tyreek Hill or go after Jalen Waddle. Something that puts extra pressure on the offense side of the ball than defense, because they don't have a good running back. And they didn't have a good running back last season either. Najee Harris, I told you, he run like Medea and put it. And now they got this young kid, Jalen Warren. We don't know what the fuck he gonna be, but he ain't projected to be shit.
Najee got 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
All you got, and what did I get him? And all you got is DK Metcalf.
Same as the Bengals.
Nick, I got a question for you. If they asked for Tyreek Hill and Miami said no, what do you do?
You come away with something more than Jalen Ramsey, especially if, like you said, like you gave up Minka. You gave him a guy who already does a job really well for a guy who does another job really well.
The point is that you can't make the sexy move if the sexy move isn't to be made.
But the move
it sounds good to talk on here, but if they're not going to trade him, then
I'm only saying that in comparison because the move you made was goofball.
Nick, what move did you said the Bengals had better moves? What move did you say
the Bengals ain't done shit?
I don't know what they did.
They re-signed 2 top 15 players.
which is great.
Yeah.
15, top 25.
So the Bengals paid more for players that they could have paid less. Like, come on, bro.
I think they traded. I think
Sheldon,
they swapped.
Sheldon, how did the Steelers and the Bengals season end? Was it both with a loss?
I think if we look at this, you take they basically swap dysfunctional players with each team.
Basically,
Jalen Ramsey was having issues and I guess didn't fuck with Mike McDaniels, and Minka was starting to have issues in Pittsburgh. And then on top of that, they got Jonnu Smith with Aaron Rodgers there, who may or may not be able to throw him the ball. I don't know. It don't matter. Shit, he didn't have anybody throw him the ball in Miami. And we'll see how it all play out. So, yeah, it was damn near a lateral move, but at least locker room chemistry may be better. So we'll see. Hopefully. I think they're going to give it another year with Tyreek Hill before he's bitching and moaning to get out of there.
He was
apparently upset about the trade. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Shit, everybody upset about these trades. These trades don't even make sense in both leagues right now.
Yeah. So
everybody was happy at first. It's funny though, because Pittsburgh was ecstatic to see that they had gotten, because they didn't announce the second half. They just said that they got Jalen Ramsey. So it didn't matter at first until you find out what they had to give up to get him.
Yeah.
So
fans are going to see Minka's value. Fans will see.
I don't know, Q. I honestly don't think. I honestly think losing Minka, I don't think they're gonna feel it as much as people think.
How many? We talked about Minka though, and him adding about 2 to 3 wins to that team last year, though, didn't we?
Was it last year or the year before?
That was about the year before. But the thing is, though, is that everyone pointed to his interceptions and how they've gone down every year. But it's like they asked Minka to be like they keep a lid on everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Joey Porter and what's his name on the other side of the field, Dante Jackson. They were the ones that were entrusted to, lock everything down. And Porter had a solid year last year. Dante Jackson had a pretty good first half of the season. Second half was pretty bleh. But, Minka was, like, to me, the heart and soul of that secondary. And now you're asking Jalen Ramsey to come in, which I know he's a dog. So, we're like Ken said, this might have just been kind of a wash. So, I guess you hope that if you're the Steelers, and you hope that Jonnu Smith adds something more to offense.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they're more concerned about Aaron Rodgers doing something. So
sure.
We'll see. Moving right along, let's jump to more NFL talk. With the NFL season about 2 months away, we're reminded of who will be enshrined in this year's Hall of Fame class of 2025. We have Eric Allen, a cornerback who played for the Eagles, Saints, and Raiders. Jared Allen, a defensive end who played for the Chiefs, Vikings, Bears, and Panthers. Antonio Gates, a tight end who played for the Chargers. And Sterling Sharp, a wide receiver selected as the senior finalist. What did y'all think about this Hall of Fame class?
Good class.
Still ain't made, like, how is he just not getting in?
Well, it was always a question of people, because you remember his career was cut short with the injury. So he was amazing when he played, but it was just so short. That's why you saw the time. That's what I would assume is the reason you saw the time taken. You had to actually argue for his inclusion because he didn't have all those numbers, because once again, it wasn't like he had a lengthy career. He had that neck injury that took him out. But I think this class is pretty solid. I like all those players on that list. Jared Allen was a menace during his time. He was a beast. And we knew Eric Allen was an excellent cornerback. So that made all the sense in the world.
He was like the prequel to J.J. Watt.
Yes, he was. That's what I was thinking. That was my comp that I was thinking in my head too, Q. When you talk about Antonio Gates, he was the first one of those guys that played basketball that was converted to a football player and showed out at the tight end position. You look at some of the others like Tony Gonzalez, who did the same thing. Jimmy Graham did the same thing. He was one of the original ones, and he was a monster in his time. So him getting elected is a no-brainer. And yeah, that's all of them. And they, like I said, they all deserve to be there. There's not a question in that group.
Yeah, absolutely. Antonio Gates is one of those rare players that, and there's a couple guys definitely in the Hall, but Antonio Gates is one of those rare players where I feel like it's unquestionable that they would be even better in today's league than they were back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and regardless as to how that team fared, he was always going to be solid and going to give you production no matter what. That was one person you could count on. Same thing with Eric Allen, if you want to look at it that way too.
For sure.
No matter how bad his team was, we know he was on those Raiders teams even.
Mm-hmm.
He was still going to be solid.
You know how many people have won fantasy franchises because of Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates? If you had both of them dudes on your squad, bro, you was in the playoffs automatically, if not winning the championship.
Mm-hmm. He was swinging.
And that was a era of tight ends. Like, pause.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. Who else was there? It was
Shannon. Well, that was right after.
You remember? I mean, lesser guys like guys like Algie Crumpler.
No, there were more. I'm forgetting, nice. But I'm saying that it was at least 4 or 5 that you knew about, or like Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark was ill, bro.
I'm trying to think. It was just like a random group of
Jason Witten.
That was a really good one. I hated Jason Witten. He was killing.
No, he was.
He wasn't. The funny thing is, Jason Witten wasn't that good, but he was good for a certain period of time. That's like overall.
Jason Witten had like a 6-7 year run.
Y'all right. Jamie Shockey was really nice.
Jamie Shockey was
ill.
There was an era of like that was the new generation of tight ends that was going to come through, and I was like, Antonio Gates was the
Heath Miller, man. Heath and Steelers. Heath Miller was steady.
I don't give a fuck about Heath Miller.
It's just hate. It's just hate. Heath Miller he was ill, bro.
Yeah.
Heath Barr is more recognized than Heath Miller.
Man, chill out, bro. Heath Miller was ill, bro.
He had one good year. Kellen Winslow. The
Kellen Winslow. Oh yeah.
From Miami, he came right after Shockey.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say,
he still ain't.
I remember Shockey. Shockey made his name in college, bro.
He did.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Boy, stay fighting.
Sterling Sharp is gonna be one of those wide receivers where, like, if you didn't watch during that time, you'll never understand why people give a fuck about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he had a triple crown too, and didn't make the playoffs, just like Jamar. So, like, you know what I'm saying, it was like he was one of the ones. Just the injury, and on top of that, I don't know what you was about to say, Ken, but.
Just everybody just talked so highly of this guy, and like he was definitely gonna be the man, or was the man until he got hurt. Even when you look at highlights, it's just hard to even see it.
You know who else was came in around that time, like 06, 07, Vernon Davis.
Yeah. Vernon Davis was
physical freak.
They did that. I don't know why that hardball team didn't win a Super Bowl.
Because they ran into some real niggas in Baltimore. That's all.
They ran into you speaking of flukes and sabotage when they shut the whole Super Bowl down. So they was like, we can't
because they was getting their ass beat and then let them come back. They was getting their ass beat.
You couldn't let this nigga win.
Dragon Knight, you're right. Greg Olsen was my guy too.
But you hold on, going back to that 49er team real quick. What's crazy is, bro, they had a lot of physical freaks. The tight end, Vernon Davis, Patrick
Willis.
Bro, it was
Kaepernick was getting out of there, bro.
Bro, it was they had a solid
Patrick Willis. Who's the other one? Who was the other linebacker?
NaVorro Bowman? Was that
NaVorro Bowman?
NaVorro Bowman. They was ill, bro.
That defense is my favorite defense. I know people talk about the Baltimore Ravens, whatever. The defense that never was. That 49ers defense was, bro, you didn't want to fuck with them at all, bro. And Patrick Willis retired early too, like Luke Kuechly. He got up out of there early. He said, "Nigga,
I mean, because like he's like you can't name like he's in that top 10 of like peaks. Just talking about peaks.
Oh yeah, he's in the top 10
for his position. For his position, like there's not many peaks greater than what Willis was doing, bro. Come on now, he was crazy.
Alden Smith, Justin Smith, all that.
I can't say that he was top 10 all time because I don't think he had a better career than Brian Urlacher.
Oh no! Just in terms of like peaks, I'm talking about the point where you were high. Like
yes. I'm talking about but Nick was saying top 10 all time.
Oh yeah,
he's top 10 all time linebackers. So. I can't name 10 all linebackers. You can't tell me you can name 10 linebackers better than Patrick Willis.
I can.
Here, bro.
Y'all funny, man.
Patrick Willis
and Brian
better than Patrick Willis.
Yeah,
I can. 10.
We gonna do the list.
You can name 10. You can name. I mean, 10. Shit. You got like already. You got.
You gonna get
top.
to 8. I'm talking about y'all gonna get to 8, 9, and 10, and I'll be like, that's bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit on all 3 of them picks. Patrick Willis was he was top 10, nigga.
Just
that was my favorite.
His peak was crazy, but some people got longevity.
And if he would have won,
Bryant Young was on that team too, balling out. It was Bryant Young on the defense. They had everybody on that team.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, though, Nick. His high was high. That bar was set high by Patrick Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, let me see. You got me looking now. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, I'm looking too.
I'm looking.
I remember watching football there that time, bro. That was when football was football. They need to make football great again during that era.
So look, I'm gonna give you 2.
So that's going too far.
he's the number one. He's the top.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis,
Mike Singletary,
Junior Seau.
That's 5.
Right?
Brian Urlacher.
Okay, 6.
See, some of these older cats.
See, this one here we go.
Dick Buckus gonna get there.
Yeah, Dick Buckus. Yeah,
okay, that's 7.
Derrick Brooks.
Yep, Derrick Brooks.
Yep,
that's 8.
Derek Thomas.
Yep, that's 9.
He was a linebacker.
Somebody on the Steelers was top 10.
Linebacker.
Somebody on the Steelers was top 10. Somebody on the Steelers was top 10.
You're probably looking at some of the old cats like Jack Ham or somebody like that.
Yeah,
we ain't going back that far.
Lawrence Taylor, Derek Thomas.
He's 10. He's either 9 or 10. Nobody can tell me shit.
He has a case.
Yeah, we already said Mike Singletary.
He definitely has a case, but his peak was like I said, you can't name 10 peaks greater than what he did.
I agree with that statement. I
got Patrick Willis at 10. Bobby White
Luke Kuechly was better than him too, Nick.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
did he win Defensive Player of the Year? Luke Kuechly.
Every one of those years, he was leading the team in tackles.
Yeah,
he was voted.
He from Cincinnati. He from the Cincinnati area.
First team All Pro. Defensive Player of the Year 2013, Rookie of the Year.
How do y'all feel about what's his name? White boy from Green Bay. You know what I'm talking
about? Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews.
No, he's not top 10.
No. I'm just saying.
Talking about the peak.
Yeah, is his peak better than Patrick Willis' peak? No. Or I mean, he won the ring.
He won the ring, but was he at his peak at that time?
Yeah, but his peak wasn't better than Patrick Willis's peak.
I don't think so either.
What about James Harrison?
That's what I'm about to say. James Harrison was crazy.
He was better career than Patrick Willis.
And he got the rings.
Peak. Yeah, but he didn't have a better peak. But I would say he was better overall. Better career.
I can see that.
So Nick, I'll put it to you like this. I would say Patrick Willis is top 12 to top 15 all time.
He top 10, bro.
Was Jason Taylor a linebacker or was he on
DN?
He was DN. Okay, yeah.
Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas was the middle linebacker.
No, he was ill, bro.
I forgot Junior Seau too.
No, I said Junior.
Okay.
I said Junior. Yeah, but Zach.
London Fletcher.
Okay. Yeah, London Fletcher's another one.
He was solidly leading the league in tackles every year.
Yep. Have you ever heard Brandon Jacobs talk about London Fletcher?
Yeah, bro.
Brandon Jacobs was like, "Yo, that's one. He's super underrated. One of the dudes that like really tagged him. If y'all remember Brandon Jacobs, that's a big freaking running back.
But my thing with Brandon Jacobs, speaking of underrated, he's not top 10. Obviously, I'm not trying to say this, but he's one of the best like running backs, if you were watching him in real time, like he was that nigga was a linebacker, like old school linebacker as a running back, bro.
Can you imagine though that he was third string on that Auburn team because they had Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown in the same backfield.
I remember that.
Jacobs was the third running back on that team,
bro. Brandon Jacobs,
and they had the fourth one. Yeah,
I will always remember Brandon Jacobs because he was a part of Earth, Wind, and Fire. It was Ahmad Bradshaw, Derek Ward, and Brandon Jacobs with that 07 run against the Pats, bro.
Hey,
DeMarcus Ware too. DeMarcus Ware. I forgot. Sorry,
Shelton. If you want to talk about three running backs in college that didn't make no sense, Brandon Jacobs was a third running back behind Chris Henry, and who's the other running back at Alabama? At the same time, it was another. What's the other running back? Hold on, I got.
You talking about Mark? You talking about Mark Ingram?
Josh Jacobs.
Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs was all
that shit. That shit was insane. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
And then, wait, hold on. You want to talk about another three? I'm going back to the U. Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, and
that was the greatest three.
God,
that was the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
in the same back.
Yeah.
How
you remember? Whatchamacallit? They were talking about. I think it was LSU. It was like Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, and who else? Odell Beckham or something. Like it was crazy.
It was Justin Jefferson, Odell Beckham, and Terrence Marshall.
Yeah, bro. They had
Waddle Waddle. That was Alabama. Though,
yeah.
Too. Waddle
was Devontae.
Devontae, Henry Ruggs. And it was one other one.
It's Ruggs, Devontae, and then the big dude from on the Browns now. Judy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Judy.
Bro,
okay.
they had four horsemen. That shit was crazy.
Yep. And they would all do separate things. You couldn't stop them.
Yeah. No, it was crazy.
All right.
Chase.
And Devontae was the best one.
Yep. That is what we got. Let's do super chats and member chats.
We got worst of the week.
Oh yeah, worst of the week. Before we do that, she goes up.
Like damn, man. Like hey, man. All right. So worst of the week. Hopefully he got. I hope he got the picture up there because yes, sir.
Nah. They got Nick off the Henny.
Yo. This is worst of the week. Yes,
I was so embarrassed watching this video.
Yo, this is
low key. Ace deserves everything he get for hiring this nigga.
Bro, yeah,
he don't deserve it. He don't deserve it. His parents do for allowing this nigga to dictate their son's career like this.
He got that cognac eye.
At the end of the day, I understand trying to navigate where you go in the draft because that's not anything that's new. However, if there's a certain level of professional decorum, and if you and here's the thing, I'm on the outside. I don't know if these workouts were already agreed to, and if they are, you show up as a pro. If you bomb it, that's one thing, but you still show up. The fact that you were trying to manipulate the draft and taking advice from somebody that is not even registered when the NBPA, he is not certified by the NBA to be an agent, is a problem. So if this is the person that you truly wanted to be your agent, because there are momagers, you know what I'm saying? There are dadagers.
Jane Daniels.
You know what I'm saying? There are people, go get certified and become official. And even though you look like this, we couldn't really talk smack about you. But the fact that you look like this, you gave this man bad advice, and you are not certified, that's the worst performance of the week, Ace Bailey, with his agents.
Bro, this dude looks like everything they were trying to put on Shador, like during the draft. This is like what I was envisioning from hearing the reports about Shador's workouts. Like this nigga walking in a Rolls Royce, listening to Jay-Z's Dynasty album, talking about we ain't going there. My boy is like that. We ain't doing none of that. And he's just like, sir, we really just want to take him in Philadelphia. It'd be a great opportunity. Nah, what's the package like? You gonna make him a star or not, bro? Like, what's really good with it? Like, nah, we're not doing that, bro. That's not how you come in an interview, bro.
Dude. That's how you got to be direct like that. So
and that's why your ass is gonna be in Utah with the Mormons. Like that shit. Come on, bro.
He's stuck in Utah. He could have been in Philly.
Yeah,
come on, bro. Could have been in multiple teams, and it's just like, nah, man. And that was one of the worst things I saw recently. Just from refusing to work out for teams. I understand, like people said, trying to make it, where you want to go. I understand Rich Paul and these people, they actually flex their clout like that. But the only way that you can do that is with infrastructure and relationships, and you don't got either of them, bro. And that's why your boys messed up.
These guys need to stop it. We've seen it try over and over again. You cannot manipulate where you want to go. Period. It's not. It just doesn't happen. They all try. There's only one person that may or may not have been successful, and we could probably say they may have been successful, and that was the Manning. Everybody else that tried to do that shit, it hasn't worked.
Yeah,
y'all can't do it. Every last one of them. So
you got to be first and foremost, Ken. They showed us you got to be Mr. White Man. You got to come from a family of Mr. White Man too. If you're not of those two things, you going where you get drafted at.
Jaden Daniels' mom, she went through all the classes. She got certified. She went to school for it so she could represent her son. And you got to give her respect for that.
And no one talks about that like that, Q. No one talks about that like
everyone says she's overbearing and blah blah blah. That's why they do Rich Paul like that, Ken, because Rich Paul actually does have the influence to make certain teams look at different prospects. Like what's his name, when he was on the phone with, I think it was Phoenix, and they had the number 10 pick or whatever. He was on the phone saying, "Yo, everything should be a go. I think he'll be there. I'm gonna make sure that I deliver him at number 10." That's where we're at now with certain agents and having these this amount of influence. It's not necessarily about the fact that you can pick where you want to go, but you get enough intel and you have enough relationships around the league to where you can see a feel for where guys want to pick and where guys want to pick you at, and you can kind of steer people. Be like, hey, my boy is more keen on picking them at getting picked at number 7 as opposed to getting picked at number 9. So you call other teams and you say, hey, you should go with so-and-so. You can also have enough influence to where, don't draft my boy here because I can deliver you a free agent just a couple weeks later that's going to fill that role for you. It's just guys like Rich Paul have enough pull like that. This dude, this is an embarrassment.
But Q, let's talk about how Rich Paul got there, right? When he was about to get drafted into the NBA, I can't remember the actual agent that he signed to, but he told the agent, you have to take Rich Paul under your wing and teach him everything that you know if you're going to sign me as an agent. So Rich Paul learned, he obviously got certified, did everything that he had to do to become legit, but he had a leg up because of LeBron, and LeBron put him in position. And then once Rich told him, hey, bro, like, we good to go, cut ties with the actual agency, created Clutch Sports, and now he has that influence. But if you're gonna go this route, come on, you saw the picture. Can't put it up one more time just for everybody to know. Okay, bet. Well, if anybody watching or in the future come across this video and you watch it to this point, and you are going to be a professional athlete, please, and look, I'm for the brother man. I'm for the Latinos. I'm for everybody melanated. For the Africanos, the Brazilianos, everybody, the Boricuas, everybody. If he looked like that and he's not certified, bro, don't even touch it, bro. Don't even go nowhere near that.
Vafiko, why do you have to say that in 2025 is nuts?
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
I mean,
that's why I say
Morena.
That's the reason why I say Ace Bailey damn near deserve what he got. He in Utah now.
Josh Bros, can't wait for football season. If you weren't with the Jets when we went 5-12, don't be with us when we go 4-13.
That's crazy.
Jets winning 8 games this year. Book it.
I can see them having an improvement.
Mike Tomlin needs to go. These moves sucks. All right.
That's not all on Mike Tomlin.
This is my flop.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Nope, we're not. Ray Sean's a MAGA supporter.
Appreciate that.
So Marty McFly, sorry to bring it back to the NBA, but do Knicks have a coach by training camp? Don Staley or Mike Brown, Nick?
It's going to be Mike Woodson.
It's going to be Ace Bailey's manager. It's going to be Ace Bailey. It's going to be Ace Bailey's manager.
They gonna call 12 Kyle about 3 candidates away.
Y'all niggas should get on the line. Like, y'all niggas trying to do suicides or what? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
They gonna get West Side Gun, Q.
This nigga listen to Dipset at practice.
Nah, I don't know who they gonna get, but they gonna get something.
Yo, real quick, him trying to show. Yo, real quick, him trying to show off the bezel, but also not trying to show it off. What he Like, get this nigga out of here, bro.
Imagine hiring somebody to run a multi-million-dollar company, or
like to manage your millions, to manage your stock. Man, get out of here.
That's what they deserve, bro.
Josh Rose, I've been really trying to get into baseball, but it just hasn't clicked for me yet. Do any of you guys have similar struggles with the sport?
Yep.
Baseball is great in playoffs.
September, October is when it really matters.
Yeah. Baseball is just like basketball. We only care about it during the playoffs.
Get out of here. Also, if your home team has a dope stadium and like the vibe is dope, then it's nice to go and just be amongst the ambiance.
You're leading to the point. You have to go to baseball games to appreciate baseball. You can't always just watch baseball. And
watch it on TV.
It is really fun in person.
You got to go. It's one of those rare sports where you have to go in person. It really
it really is a vibe. Like, Yankee Stadium dope. If you're in Chicago, White Sox and the Cubs dope. LA, the Giants Stadium in Frisco. Those are really good experiences. And Nationals is pretty cool if you're in DC, and then I'll say any sports event in Miami is always dope. So,
I don't know. Well, so they got a new one where they used to play the
Marlins.
Yeah, because they used to play a pro player where the Dolphins.
I thought that they revamped the stadium though. It's really dope.
No. So now the Marlins have a new stadium that's closer to like South Beach, and the University of Miami plays where the Dolphins play now too. But I will say Truist Park here in Atlanta is arguably one of the best vibes you can have.
I don't like Truist Park. I like Turner Field better, and I like it better because parking and just I like Truist area, but going to that stadium, where you out?
Wait, hold on. So Shelton, I feel like because I used to live right by Turner Field, so I've been there a couple of times. It feels like a traditional baseball stadium, right? And it has a lot of history there, so I don't disagree. But Truist is like it's a new shiny toy, and I also know this. I can't stand the parking. 9 times out of 10 that I go there, I definitely Uber. I do not like.
You talking about the new Brave Stadium, the one that's
it sucks driving there.
Yes.
Yo, real quick. Before we move to the next joint or before we close out, I saw this question I wanted to ask the guys here. For all the single men, what is the best live sports event to go to? A baseball game, a football game, or a basketball game if you're trying to get at certain vibes. Like if the baddest like shorties, like where they be at. Hot take, I think it's baseball games. That's just me though.
I was gonna say the baddies that are, it depends on what you're trying to be in a minute. If you're looking for someone that you can actually be with, I would say basketball. If you're looking for somebody to crack that night, I say football.
Baseball.
That is insane. That is insane.
It ain't too many single baseball games. I
don't know, man. I feel like baseball.
Because that tailgate, it get them right, Nick.
Yeah, if you go to a tailgate, let's say Falcons game or New Orleans Saints game tailgate, bro, hey, you get in the middle that night. She might be bad too. You may get
it depends. It depends, man. It really does depend. For all my single boys, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, go out there. I feel like get you a vibe at a baseball game. If you like, I'm trying to tell you, go to a Dodgers game. People just be doing that shit just for like the vibe. Like, yo,
you don't want no baseball.
I'm trying to tell, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, bro. See,
nobody ever said that was an aphrodisiac.
People, he don't know. People, he don't know. All the Boricuas and the Morenas, they be out there at, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you talk about that specific.
It is balls and strikes, Nick.
The Mets games, games, and the Yankees games, the Dominican, they out there. Stop it. Like LA games, the Mexicanos, they be out there, bro.
FIFA, he's only talking from an East Coast perspective, and I only know that because I'm on the East Coast now. A lot of these niggas only talk about the world viewpoint from the East Coast. Yeah, if you go to the Bronx with the Yankees, if you go to the Mets, like these are fan bases. These are fan bases that are gonna have all kinds. No, these are fan bases on the East Coast that all they gonna have is biddies. I'm talking about what if you in Sheldon? What if you in Missouri? You go to a damn what's the Kansas City Royals game? You ain't mean no biddies that you want to
see. You talking about places nobody want to be at?
I'm just but that's
first of all, Nick, we talking about the poppin' city. So we talking New York, LA, New York, Chicago.
Those places, they're not there by themselves. They don't go like they girls ain't going to the. They go. The girls go to a baseball game. I mean, a basketball
by themselves, bro. Like.
baseball.
Like no, bro. See, the thing is, though, for me, MLB, the reason why they have so much money is because they cater to the fan experience more than other leagues do. Like, you can't access suites the way that you can access a suite in MLB, especially for like seasonal tickets. And plus, the seating is almost on some like airplane shit where you can get economy, you can get, you know what I'm saying, like the premium plus packages, you can get the executive packages, and you can have people cater your room, cater your row for you, all kind of shit. And then you go to the NBA, it's like, hey, get your popcorn and go sit down. If you're not in the friends and family section, and then if you're not in the suite, it's kind of the same everywhere. And plus, the nosebleeds is nothing.
Bro, but you're literally going to inside baseball with this thing. We're talking about what kind of biddies you trying to meet at certain sporting events.
So you telling me that you go to a Dodgers game and they're not there? They all there.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that, of course, if you're in LA, you're in LA. If you're in New York, you're in New York. My thing is like, that's what I'm saying. Then anywhere you go see a biddy.
If you go to the Cubs games, they there. No, I'm trying to tell you.
Games, but when I go there, the ones that are there, they with somebody.
No, I'm saying the conversation cue was about the sport. It's more about if you go to any game in this sport, what are you more likely to see? I'm taking that as a whole. So just like you taking that as like city by if you in LA, if I'm like if I'm in Houston, let me
clarify. Let me clarify a little bit. So I don't disagree with Shelton. I think overall, at baseball games, you're going to get more girls that are there with couples. However, if you're in more rugged cities, you're going to get a lot more girls that may have grown up as tomboys and they like baseball just because, and they will go there dolo. So Chicago, I could tell you the Cubs for 100% certain that there are definitely a lot of biddies that go that are single. New York, I could definitely tell you because a cultural thing. Again, New York and Chicago got a lot of Latinas that they grow up in a household where baseball is a thing. They become a fan. They'll go there dolo, 100%. I can't. In Atlanta, it ain't like that. You not seeing a whole bunch. Now you might see some white girls that might be single, but you're not going to see blacks and Latinas going to the truest part.
Like look at like anywhere, any like Dominican, Asian. Like look at like for all, like I'm talking about for all. You know what I mean? I'm strictly for the soil, but from my single brothers who want girls all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of my Boricuas and Morenas, they got that African blood in them, so I count them. But at the end of the day,
because he cracked.
If Brett, like, first of all, we all got dropped off at one slave ship, just at one island. That's all it is. Right, but it's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, because Spanish, you know what I'm saying, it's just a language. But at the end of the day, if you are a man seeking the multitude of what women have to offer you in this world, there's Asian, there's white girls, there's Latinos, like all this shit. And then you have, you know what I'm saying, you're black, and African folk who are going to go. But you have a wider variety, in my opinion. And like the baseball arena is like catered to like communication and talking to people. You can pass people in the hallway. NBA, unless you have a select experience in these hub cities, niggas ain't trying to sit and talk for, at like a lounge. Like the Yankees, they have restaurants inside the Yankee Stadium. LA, they got restaurants. You go to places like Miami, like they have a restaurant and they have a club inside of certain stadiums, even at the Heat Stadium. So it is a kind of city-based thing, but I feel like you get more for your buck if you go to a baseball game. Trust me, just try it out. You will see a wider variety, and you'll have a pretty good experience.
I also will say this: I 1,000,000% agree with Nick, especially if you hit the tailgate, boy. You try to crack that night, boy.
Hey, bro,
hit that tailgate.
Hey, Sheldon, you've been to a HBCU football game tailgate, right?
Absolutely.
Tell me football ain't great.
It's always football. It's always football.
Man,
football, you come up with some
when you deal with HBCU.
Hey, listen, football gonna have any kind you want, auntie, a young biddy.
He said an auntie.
It's gonna all be there.
The Tyler Perry crowd. The Tyler Perry audience out there.
Stepsister, half sister.
That's hilarious.
Everybody.
That's true.
Play cousins and some bullshit.
But that's all I have for the night, though. I just wanted to ask that.
Cool.
Ken ain't want to get in trouble. That's why he couldn't participate.
I'm speaking strictly for all my. Everyone here was speaking hypothetically.
He got a whole Bible.
Everybody here was speaking specifically to the single men, not as first person.
Ken got a whole algorithm ready. He gonna tell us off air.
Ken said, I don't even watch sports. Like
he said the sports that I do ain't got nothing to do that you want to have on TV.
He's like, I'm focused on the game. Like I ain't really watching nothing else.
Hey, that's funny.
But go ahead, Kim. That's my bad.
But yeah, man, we'll be back around training camp. When is training camp? Or probably a little sooner.
You itching for football too, ain't you?
Summer league is next week, and training camp is about in 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, Eagles go to camp on the 22nd.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
July.
We give a damn about summer league.
About to watch the Eagles Invitational this year. Y'all welcome to watch it in the NFC.
You said 22nd, Shelton? July.
Yes, the 22nd of July.
Okay. So, of course, any big breaking news or anything like that, we may hop on and discuss. If something happened, I may drop a video or two just to stay around. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for us, man. For the regular show for a couple of weeks, and we'll be back for football. Yeah, everybody's gonna be excited for that one.
Yes, sir.
So, see you in August.
Mm-hmm. So we'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.